Okay, now this is from Mike Smith too. What happens? What is Kundalini? What happens during a Kundalini rising experience? Does this experience happen to everyone who attains a particular spiritual quality or state? There are individuals who claim that chakras are alien implants that were placed in humans to prevent us from reaching our full potential. Is this true? Some of these individuals are also advising that we remove our chakras and advising people how to do this. Please comment on chakra removal. Are chakras beneficial to us? If so, we balance and cleanse them? Question mark. Okay, so basically we're talking about Kundalini and chakras and all that sort of thing. And I'm going to include all of the stuff about the pineal gland and the third eye, which also, of course, is a chakra. Now, after I had my NDE, the information, because I didn't know anything about chakras or Kundalini or all of this stuff, the chakra information was helpful for me to focus and identify those different issues, so to speak, and to clear those energies and to align those energies. And it was very helpful for that period of time for me. After that was done, though, I pretty much got rid of them. And I did the whole Kundalini thing. So, in days gone by, before 2012, the whole chakra, Kundalini, third eye, pineal gland, any kind of thing that you can imagine, and I'll include like Christian religion, baptism, praying for forgiveness, in some of the other things, chanting, use of different medicinal herbs, or even, let's see, spiritual herbs, like ayahuasca and mushrooms, and, well, there's all kinds of them. All of that stuff, or any of the monk stuff, that's segregation, or, you know, going into a state of chanting, all of those different things could be used, like most things, could be used to be a great disadvantage to you if you got so focused in on them that they became the end-all be-all and the only way for you, and you insisted that it was the only way for everyone else. Then that would become not an advantage. It'd be a big disadvantage. If you used any and all of those things, and the, good grief, hundreds of thousands of other things that are out there, used to center yourself, quiet your mind, get yourself to a place where you could listen to your, what we would say, a connection with your higher self, or somebody else might say God, or Holy Spirit, or multi and sundry energies on the planet, via like animal totems or spiritual teams, whatever. All of those things could be used as an advantage to you to get to where you want to be. And all of them are valid and good if you believe in them. They will help. But there comes a time when you don't need them anymore. And that time, for those that are going to 5D, that time is now. So it's not that, well, could they have been inserted? Could the chakras be inserted to slow us down in the process of going down? Yeah, in a way. The aliens did do it. Of course, it was all a plan from a bigger perspective to allow the humans to experience the lower vibrations of 3D. And that's what I want y'all to keep remembering. That when you say that something was done to humans, well, it was done to humans, and on an individual level, it probably didn't feel good at times. But understand, the bigger picture is that you came here to experience those lower vibrations no matter what you are here to do on the other side of that, you still agreed to experience those lower vibrations in 3D. And if you're listening to me, you did that. Because certainly within my lifetime, and certainly anyone that's over 40, 45, absolutely experienced firsthand as an adult the lower vibes of 3D. They were definitely out and about. But now, if you're heading towards 5D and listening to me, you're moving back out of that. And so you're going to use those things as needed, but not as have to. And that's the key. So you can jump back and forth in using any and all things, whatever works for you in the moment. And if it feels good, then you do it. When it doesn't feel good anymore, you stop doing it. Okay? It's that simple. So if you are centering and you feel that your energies in your body are divided into chakras, or whatever else you want to say that they're in, where you can identify them, and you need to clear them out, you need to focus on them, you need to, they don't feel right there in those areas of your body, then use the chakra stuff to get there. If you want to use the Kundalini experience, then, and you don't know anything about it, or if you don't know anything about chakras or whatever, center with yourself, go online, click something in, and you will be taken to the best thing for you in the moment. But it's kind of like the food thing, guys. You need to learn to listen to yourself and to your body, and it will tell you what you need at any given point. And you will instinctually know what is for you and what is not. But that doesn't mean you need to attack what does not, or what worked before and doesn't anymore. That is for your experience and your experience alone. For somebody else, those that dealing with the chakras, the Kundalini or prayer or mushrooms or ayahuasca or whatever, might be good for them in the moment, for their experience. And when we finally get to the point where we look at each other, instead of saying, oh, I judge you, I don't like you because you believe in chakras and I don't, when you can stop doing that and say, so what are you doing? And they go, well, I cleared my chakras, I centered them, they're all the right color, and what else? And I just had the Kundalini experience, and it was so powerful, and it was so awesome. When you can say, not, well, aliens put the chakras in your body, you know, and the Kundalini is bad. When you can not do that, and listen to them and go, wow, and see the amazement and how much it helped them. If you can look at them and say, that is so awesome. I just think that is the best thing ever. So what are you doing now? Then when we can do that and keep moving, so that when a person has the chakra, the Kundalini, or the ayahuasca, or prayer, or the Holy Spirit, or whatever they have, when people feel not judged and when they can trust themselves, then they can move back and forth amongst all those different things, and they can they can raise their vibration, they can feel more spiritually connected, and they can do it in whatever way feels right to them in the moment. And when there is no judgment out there, they can move back and forth amongst all these things and not feel like, well, if I call on the power of the Holy Spirit, then that means that I am in this Pentecostal church and I cannot leave my entire life. Okay, and that's what happens. Or I believe in chakras, and I'm going to believe in chakras until the day I die. Well, that's what stagnates the human beings right now, is that you might have a day when, in a history of, so it may feel really, really good to you to pray and call in the Holy Spirit, if that is your gig. Let that happen. Go through it and say, okay, I feel better, but now I need to do this. And not get yourself caught in any certain diet, in any certain way of life, in any certain anything, so that you are truly following what is your bliss. And when people say follow your bliss, or when I say follow your bliss, that does not mean find a career that you like and that's it. Follow your bliss means in the moment, every moment of every day. So if in this moment follow your bliss means make a green drink, a smoothie, and then sit out next to a lake and drink it and enjoy the moment, or it means, oh my gosh, I've got to have a McDonald's hamburger, then do that. And don't judge someone else that's bouncing around. If there's nothing wrong with having a hamburger, a McDonald's hamburger today, and then going back to a vegetarian diet. There's nothing wrong with calling on the Holy Spirit today, and then centering and being in the moment of connecting and merging with your higher self and remembering who you really are. Give yourself whatever feels right in the moment, and you will go far, you will go much further in your spiritual development than if you choose a path and be dogmatic about staying on that particular path all the time for the rest of your life. That is what's caused all kinds of problems for humans, is that inability to not judge the person, the circumstance, the other people, themselves, and to make it that it's got to be this way and only this way. In 5D, there will be a merging of everything. You will understand the other person's point of view instantly. And as you get higher in the 5D vibes, you will instantly understand why that person was in that moment in that time. So you need this. What the practice is here is go on the internet and talk to people that are totally unlike you and learn to accept them for who and what they are in that moment in time. Accept yourself in the moment in time. So if you do have that, if you're a vegetarian and you have this crazy, insane desire for a hamburger, not to judge yourself or your body for that moment in time. And when you can get to that kind of non-judgment, that it's a constant, all the time thing with yourself and others and other societies, and as the aliens come in, you're gonna have to not judge them either. Okay, you're gonna have to understand that they have a different perspective, and their part of the game is important too. I really don't see a timeline where the aliens start coming down and introducing themselves until people can stop judging each other, other nations, other societies, other groups, and themselves so harshly. I mean, really, if you were alien, would you? When aliens are very likely on this timelines right now to shoot each other for bumping into them in a bar, would you come down and look completely different with a completely different perspective and come down and risk it? So for those of you who want disclosure, who want to meet aliens, you're going to have to learn not to judge yourself and others first, because they know, the aliens know what you're doing down here. They know what kind of interactions you have with each other. So you have to understand that you have to stop judging other lifestyles, other diets, other whatever, the way people dress, the way they act, their choices in life, even especially if it doesn't match yours. So from my perspective, all of those things, and for me personally, those things did have a place at one time, and I give them much appreciation for being there, and the people who put out the information on the internet that allowed me to use them to get through that stage. But for me now, all of the chakras have collapsed into one energy field. And now, for me personally, what I work on is the communication between what you might call soul or spirit entity part of me and the human body energy field of me, and communicating between those two. So I personally do not use chakras anymore. I don't tend to go into, oh my gosh, we've got to get rid of them. I don't believe in that kind of energy. Fear-based energy, no matter what you do, is for me not a good thing, because I'm going to 5D and there is no fear there in any way. So I don't do it like that. Now, if a moment of fear gets you to a different thing or aspect or way of doing something that will take you to a more peaceful, blissful centeredness, living and creating consciously out of joy, not out of fear, then a moment of fear might be a good way for you to stop looking this way and go this way. And so you might be using that. But a moment of fear is quite different than spending the rest of your life preaching to the world, oh my God, chakras are horrible, and bad aliens stuck them in our bodies to control, that kind of thing. You get it? So you can set for you that chakras are working in the moment and you are heading this direction and there's nothing wrong with it, and you're vegan and there's nothing wrong with it, and or you go to a Pentecostal church and there's nothing wrong with it. You can use those. But what I encourage all of you to do, no matter what you're doing right now, is to start trusting your instincts. Start believing that you are a creator God. Put that in your foremost thought processes. That even if you don't really believe it right this second, start faking it until you make it. Just keep saying it, keep looking around, do little things like the first thing I started creating were parking spaces. That's what I did. That was the first thing I did. I went somewhere and I would say, no, I want a parking place next to the door. And I just got better and better and better at it. Now it's just automatic. I always have a parking space near the door. If I'm just a little bit out of alignment, I just have to drive slowly around for a second and there will be, somebody will clear out. That's what I did, and then I just started building on it. But there's many ways of doing it. But as you go into 5D, the remembering thing is the important thing. So however you've got to get to that, you can get to that. That's even in the Bible. I mean, Jesus said that he was the Son of God, but so was everybody else. That's in the Bible. So there is a push in the basis of a lot of things to get you towards remembering. If you are afraid of it or controlling or try to control yourself or others, then it becomes a fear thing and all those things become a negative. So it's all about how you approach it. And what I encourage you to do is just really analyze whether you're being judgmental about everything, not just big things. I mean, I'm talking moment to moment, day to day. Are you judging this person? Should they have, I've heard this a lot. That fat person shouldn't be wearing those shorts. Really? Seriously? Okay. You really got to watch those moment to moment things. Well, what is that thing with white shoes? You're not supposed to wear them certain times of the year or whatever. Okay, that's a judgment. Okay, should they, my gosh, she would look so much better if she cut her hair like that. Or why doesn't she wear makeup? Or there's too much makeup. Or she would be so pretty if she lost weight. Or